Hi guys, Creative Lauri here. Welcome everyone. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and welcome back everyone else. I'm a home stager, but today I'm doing a challenge hosted by Denise from This and That with Denise Jordan, Tashi with Simply Tashi, and Mickey from Live, Love, Laugh, Pray. I'll link all of their channels down below in the description box. And so the challenge is called Soup and Stews Comfort Foods for Fall 2018. That's right up my alley because I think I have mentioned in a lot of my videos or my lives that I'm vegetarian, and I also probably cook with the crock pot once a week. So I'm doing this in the crock pot, but now I've amped it up to twice a week because it's fall and winter will be coming soon. And I'm also doing a non-processed diet. I started November 1st. So everything here is fresh. I normally cook that way, but there's sometimes where, I go and get convenience food. So I want to be ready for the holidays. I want to be ready for the week, just in general. So I always try to have these foods on hand. And how I make my soups or stews is I just put everything that I have in the kitchen, the refrigerator or my pantry into the crock pot. So I already have the beans going, and I'll show you that in a second. But I basically use 1/3 bag of this. It's the multi-bean, and it does say soup mix. This costs $1.29, so that's what, 43 cents, I believe. So I use 1/3. I got that going early this morning because they have to cook a little longer. So let me show you what that looks like. But before I do, I'll be using probably the whole broccoli, which costs 99 cents. I have one zucchini. I might do two, just depending, because I do love zucchini in my soup. And then three, they're kind of smaller purple onions, so I haven't even taken the skin off yet, but I'll be using probably all three. I'm using probably 1/3 of the bag of the carrot chips. I'm rinsing them, so those are still in the bag. And then I'll just throw the ones in that I rinsed. And I'll probably be using this whole can of, and I think it's, 15 ounces? It's not focusing, but it's 15 ounces, and it's not the pumpkin pie filler. It's just pumpkin. And that's really good for you. It helps with inflammation. It's good for your cats and dogs. Like if they're dehydrated or if they had diarrhea, this will help. I'm probably going to put the whole thing because I don't have tomato paste or tomato, like stewed tomatoes. So, I don't even have fresh tomatoes. I used them all up on Halloween. So, believe it or not, the pumpkin gives the soup a very tomatoey taste. I don't know if it's mixed with the beans, that's why, but to me it tastes very tomato-like, so it's perfect. So let me show you the beans. Alright, so after you rinse your beans, you're just going to put them in here, and I didn't put a whole lot of water, but I'm going to be adding some more water now. But as you can see, they're just about ready, but now it's got, we've got more stuff to put in. I waited a little too long, but it doesn't really matter because they're bigger beans in here, like the red kidney beans and such. I'm okay with how the consistency is. I want this to be really soft, and so I'm going to go ahead and add in all of the broccoli and carrots right now. Okay, so as you can see, I chopped up all of my broccoli. I took the majority of the stems. I'm not going to waste that. Even the big stemmy part, I cut the end off, but I will cut these on a diagonal and use them for another meal because they are still good for you and good. It's just that I wanted the soup to be more on the soft side. So I have all the, the florets. No, these aren't the florets. These are full-blown broccoli flower part. I can't remember what they call them. I guess the floral part. This part. I know someone's going to tell me in the comments, so thank you. Then with my little onions, you can see that they're pretty small, so that's why I'm using 3. All I did was I chopped it down the middle and then about 5 times, so it's, big enough chunks, but like that, and then they'll break apart in the soup. So I'm going to finish chopping up the onions, but I'm going to put the broccoli in now. I already put the carrots in, and I only put a third of the package, guys, because broccoli or carrots give it a very sweet taste, and I don't want it to be too sweet. I want it to be more savory. So let me add the broccoli. I added about 1.5 cups more of water, and if I feel like I need to add more, I'll let you know. I will put the full description of my recipe at the bottom of the page, in the description box. Okay, so I cut my zucchini. I only did one because the pot is starting to get really full, but I didn't really chunky pieces, as you can see. I want it to be a little bit thicker pieces because it cooks so fast anyways. So I mean, as you can see, they are definitely chunkier pieces. So no problem with that though. These cook really quickly, and so do the onions for the most part. Now you're probably wondering, when are you going to put in some salt? Well, I didn't want to put in any salt until after, because when you're cooking beans, it's just the best way, or else they have like they don't cook right, or it's like a funky taste. That's why I never add salt until the end. So I put the broccoli in. Let me show you what it looks like now. So there's that. Doesn't it look beautiful? I just love it. So I put the carrots in, 1.5 cups of water, added to the beans, and then the whole head of broccoli. So I'm going to let that cook for a bit, and then I'll add the zucchini and onion. Okay, guys, so as I'm waiting for this crock pot to cook over here, this is like the perfect meal to make dinner or for lunch if you're busy. And I am packing away all of my Halloween things and labeling everything. So this is the perfect day to actually be doing the crock pot. And it's probably going to turn more into a stew, which is fine with me. And the thickener of it all would be pretty much the beans and then the pumpkin that I'll be putting in shortly. As you can see, I bagged up the rest of my broccoli. I'm going to be cooking it probably tomorrow. I didn't even put it in a Ziploc bag because I'm just going to be cooking it very quickly. So I'll probably cook that with some yams and onions and maybe some bell peppers. And then I have all of my Halloween stuff to put away, inside and outside, and there's more of it. But I thought I would take this moment while my stew is cooking, and that's the beauty of a stew, is that you have time in between. And I made a list of things that I have to do, which was pack up my Halloween items, record another video. Realistically, I have 2 more videos to do. I need to go to the post office, I need to clean, I need to meet with a client later, and then when I get home I'll do laundry, and then I'll have dinner. So guys, I have been up very early this morning. It's going to be a long day, but what better way to do a stew or soup than, you know, on a day where you're super busy. So as I'm putting all this away, it's going to be cooking. And actually, it's probably going to be ready in about an hour or so. So I could have it for lunch and go meet with my client and then have it for dinner if I want to. Just depends. So you can make a side of rice with this and then pour it over your rice. I like brown rice. So I'm going to pause here and then I'll show you what it looks like in a second. All right, this is what it's looking like. And as you can see, like the onions are starting to get a little more pale. So, and then the broccoli is getting soft and the carrots. So this is good. So I'm just going to mix it a little bit. But look at it, you guys. Look at all of that in there. And then you want to make sure you want to season this really, really well, because the legumes don't naturally have any salt to them. They have an earthy taste, but there's no salt. So you want to add, I do sea salt, Himalayan sea salt. And look how beautiful that is. And then I'll probably put a little bit of ginger and some other spices, which I will let you know in a bit. All right, so I'm going to cover this back up. Now they say not to open up your crock pot too much because you literally you're losing a half-hour cook time each time you do it. But my beans were already done, and basically the veggies are just kind of steaming and cooking. So I'm not too worried about it right now. So I'll come back and I'll show you what spices I add when I add the pumpkin. Alright guys, so the seasonings that I'm going to be adding are parsley flakes, because that's a really good spice for like detoxifying your blood, and it tastes good. I don't like fresh parsley though, isn't that funny? It's not, it's just too pungent for me. I didn't have any fresh cilantro to throw in there, so that's why I'm going to put the parsley flakes. I'm going to add paprika and ground ginger, which are both really good for your system. And then I think paprika is good for your colon and a bunch of other organs actually. I think kidneys also. Ginger is good for your stomach, lower gut, and a bunch of other things as well, which I can't remember. And then I'm going to be adding about a tablespoon of the pink Himalayan salt that I have, which you can buy at Dollar Tree now. So all of this, I'll do a total at the very end, but it's all very inexpensive. And then I forgot to add garlic. I bought some beautiful bulbs the other day. They're huge. I'm probably going to add 2 cloves, and I'll show you how thick they are. Let's see. That's 1 clove. Oops. That's 1 clove right there. So I'll probably do 2, and I'm just going to, because I don't have time for it, the cooking is at the end of its cycle almost. I'm just going to use my garlic press. And then I'm going to put that in there, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the finished product. It looks delicious. This thing is filled to the rim. I have the garlic in there. I'm so happy I remembered the garlic, you guys. Oh my gosh, that will give it such an amazing taste. But look how chunky this is. And so this will be perfect even over rice or without it. I'm going to have it today for an early lunch. It's just a cup of soup for right now because I just want to have something quick. And then I'm going to pour some fresh lemon juice over it. So let me show you the lemons. Let me first get a cup of this and I'll be right back. Okay guys, it's done. It is a full crock pot too, let me tell you. So I don't know how many servings I'll get out of this, but I'm just having a large cup of it. I'll show you. It's like basically almost a bowl size, maybe less than a bowl size. But look at all of this. And it smells amazing with the onion, the garlic, the carrots. You can smell the carrots and the onions and the garlic for sure. And then you smell the pumpkin like it's tomato, like I said. So there's something to be said for the pumpkin in here. I can't wait to try it. But before I try it, I have my lemons from my tree. Now they're pretty ugly on the outside because these ones came from close to the wall of my house, so they get really scarred from the stucco on my house, but they're still fine. And then here's like a baby one. I've never had such a small lemon in my life. This is actually small in comparison, and it's pretty big, but in comparison to what I've showed you guys. So I'm just going to put a spritz of lemon in here. That tastes so good with the pumpkin and the beans. It's amazing. So let me just give that a whirl. Alright, let's see how it tastes. Oh my gosh, you guys. So good. Yeah. This broth definitely tastes like tomato soup. Oh my goodness. So with a lemon as a little accent, it's so good. Now you can serve this with, you know, some artisan bread on the side, some crackers or rice as your starter. And then you have an entree after that. But honestly, for me, this is perfect enough. Like for a lunch, I'm good with this. This is hearty. I can't wait to eat the rest of it. It is so good, you guys. So I'm so happy with the outcome, and I can't tell you how how good it is. It's so good. Okay, so the cost. I wanted to share the cost with you guys, and I'll share the recipe in the description box. The beans cost 43 cents because I used 1/3 of the bag. It was $1.29 originally. Carrots were 99 cents, so I used 33 cents. I only used 1/3 of the bag. The head of the broccoli was 99 cents, or I should say broccoli. And then 3 small red onions. They came in a huge bag for 99 cents. I probably used, oh, that's actually not right, the price. Let me recalculate that, because no, I didn't use 51 cents of, I didn't use half the bag. Anyways, the zucchini, one zucchini came 5 to a bag, was 20 cents. And the garlic cloves were 4 huge bulbs. So that's 25 cents a bulb, but I probably only used 5 cents. So let me recalculate the onions. That is not correct. But before I do that, I'm just going to have another spoonful. Oh my gosh. So good, you guys. Couldn't have come at a better time because I'm busy and I have not been feeling good. So this is perfect. All right, guys, hold on. All right, so my total came to $2.20. I don't know if you can see that. The onions end up only came to 20 cents. So that whole crock pot worth of soup goodness, stew goodness, $2.20. So if you break it down per serving, is only 22 cents. So bigger serving than this, actually. But I would say it's 10 servings, because that's usually what I get out of that crock pot when it's filled to the top. And so 22 cents per serving. How can you lose with that? This is something that's good for you, and I really am enjoying it. It tastes wonderful. The broth on this is just amazing. And so I'm so happy with it. They always turn out, you throw anything to the crock pot, a mixture of this and that, and if you have stewed tomatoes, tomato paste, pumpkin, throw that in. It'll act as like a nice savory additive, thickener. Or if you have potatoes, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like potatoes, but I do like yams, and I had some yams, but I wanted to save those for another recipe that I'm going to be eating later this week. So this was perfect with the beans. They act also as a thickener. Guys, this is so good. You're not going to miss not having meat. It's just delicious. So if you want to have like a meatless Monday, this is a great way to incorporate like a soup like this. Then maybe have a huge chunky salad afterwards and maybe some bread with it. That is a meal. And often you can put I put a hard-boiled egg in my salad sometimes. So Meatless Monday is going to take on a whole nother meaning for some people, I hope. And I'm going to enjoy this, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it all. And thank you very much to Denise, Mickey, and to Tashi. Go check out their channels. I'll link them down below in the description box. All right, bye, guys.